recall ever being there.
Okay. 2 seconds. 3, set, go!
That I recall.
1, 2.
I don't recall ever being there.
Okay. 2 seconds. 3, 4, 5.
What are you doing?
I don't recall ever being there.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know exactly. I have no recollection of ever being at her house.
6, 7.
Why aren't you trying to go get something?
I don't know. I don't know.
More than 8 years?
I don't know.
9, 10.
What is
11,
he doing?
12.
You'll never get it.
I have no idea. I don't know.
What was the event?
I don't know.
What beach? I'm not as familiar with the location.
I'm not sure.
Maybe
Anything this way?
14, 15, 16.
I'm sorry.
Did I go to the beach at some point with these people? Yes.
Okay, all those folks.
I don't know.
17,
I'm
18.
sorry, sir.
When did you go to the beach with all those folks?
I don't know. I don't know when this picture is from.
Have you?
It's-
I think you're not going
20
to win.
seconds.
I don't know. It could be around high school. I'm not. They both look old to me. I don't know when they're from.
A few moments later.
I don't remember specifically what or where this is. I don't know. I don't know where this is.
Later.
I don't know where this is exactly.
So you had.
No, I'm saying I can't. These photos are old. I don't know. I don't remember where these were or the circumstances around them. That's what I'm saying.
You see how you dressed?
I don't know.
Where?
2,000 years later.
Sorry, I don't know. I don't remember.
How many friend group? Right.
I don't know that we have all.
Which was posted on social media.
Okay.
Is that right?
Are you telling me that?
I'm asking you that. Have you ever seen that posted on social media?
I don't recall seeing this picture.
In the photograph?
No.
You literally don't even recognize your own outfit?
No.
So that doesn't help define where you were and when that photograph was taken?
No, sir. No.
Has Caitlin ever been to your house?
Not to my recollection.
When was the last time you talked to Caitlin?
I don't remember exactly. Again, I don't remember exactly. I don't know. So I don't know when the last time before that. Don't.
Communication with her?
Not that I can recall. I don't know. I don't recall when it was.
I'm just trying to figure out about how long after. A week after? A month after?
I'm not sure.
Or was that on a trip somewhere?
I don't know. Well,
welcome to the Young Jerks tonight. Mike Crawford flying solo. Had a number of great guests. Really, Mazza Media and Mark Betterow over several nights in a row, consecutive. We definitely going to continue that. It's going to be happening more of those shows. Usually I used to do like once a week or once a month. Now it's been every night. And I'm just feel like even on nights when I don't have guests lined up, it's time to do a show. And that's the way we're going right now because of Karen Reed. I can't go to the protests or the rallies, but I can do the show from home at night. And that's what I'm going to continue to do as much as possible, just every night. It's like, you know how Bruins players and they have the rally beard? This is the show beard. Just going to keep going every night. Tonight, we're going to be talking about this woman. You just heard the clip that we came out with was from John Como. It was a great edit from our live stream with Katie here, and her acquaintance, Caitlin Albert. The grand jury testimony so far has been very conflicting. even among themselves, like the prosecution witnesses so far, it's a grand jury. A lot of these people were on the grand jury testimony, but this prosecution in the trial, the witnesses, the EMTs, the firefighters specifically, and the police officers so far that we've seen, very conflicting, even among themselves. And a lot of their statements that they made changed. They came as a result after meeting with Michael Proctor. There's information I've been receiving. Well, you know what? Let's just get to what we can talk about right now. Tomorrow night, Sunday night, 7 p.m., gonna have Rita Lombardi in here. And I think it's important to have Rita and some of the other folks, maybe like Nick Rocco. If we could ever get Kelly Reed in here, maybe. But the folks that are actually, witnessing what's happening at the trial, because there's people like Grant Smith talking about jurors and what the jurors are feeling and seeing. There are other people in there that can report for us. So we're definitely going to have Rita on tomorrow night to talk about what she's seeing, if anything, from the juror behavior. Because, we're hearing one-sided from Grant Smith. So, and hopefully we have Jessica Machado maybe later this week as well, because I hear she's going to be back reporting. So we got a lot happening tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Be here. Rita Lombardi. We're also going to talk about the Canton police audit and a lot more shows. I'm going to try to do a show every night if I can. We'll see how long we can go with this. We'll see how many shows in a row. Tonight I was walking dogs. I just got done walking dogs. That's why I'm late. An emergency. We had an emergency that came up. Helping a family out. I already have a dog here who's nervous. He's over here. It's very sweet. So, wanted to talk about Katie McLaughlin and her testimony and some of the other folks' testimony too. They're friends. One of the first responders, friends with Jill Daniels. Conflicting. A lot of conflicting. Not in the reports. I think the defense did a phenomenal job. It's so funny to see Kevin Linehan and the Grant Smiths still trying to spin it. It's like, are you watching the same stuff that we're watching? I wanted just to go through some of the video tonight. And one thing I'll say is on Monday, been a lot of talk about who might be some of the next witnesses. Now, I'm not expecting Michael Proctor on Monday, but some of my sources are indicating we may get some police officers on Monday. And it could get very interesting. So Monday at court is going to be must see. And this week, because Proctor could be coming up this week. Who are they going to call next? We got a lot on. I feel bad for this woman. I do. I think she this is what Lawyer Betterow has been saying. Poorly coached, these witnesses. You got to be honest. She should have just said, yeah, we were high school friends. We hung out. And not just high school friends after high school. We don't see each other much anymore. That's what she should have said. We're just acquaintances. We're not really friends. And now all of her friends, this is funny too. Let me bring this up. I got to bring this clown up before I even get to McLaughlin. All the good stuff we have on her tonight. And we're just touching a little bit, but let me play this one. I think this is it. Hopefully this is it. No, maybe not. Where did I save it? No, I did save it. Hold on. This is probably the first time I've ever done this on this show, is play this Joker. I think it's a perfect time, though. He's so smug. Hold on. You guys know when I say smug, and I'm going to play someone for the first time, their video from TikTok, Who am I talking about? I want to see in the chat if you guys know who I'm talking about. TikTok smug. Come on, where is it? I'm searching in the wrong place. I should have been set up. I'm a little behind tonight. 1 second. Here it is. Watch this guy. This is hilarious. This is what I'm talking about. Are they watching the same trial? Let's bring this clown up for a second.
Dying cold. We finally know the answer. Cameron Reed was asking the people in the ambulance.
The answer. That guy is such a doof. Oh my God. He's like if Ben Affleck and Matt Damon wanted to play a bad Boston actor trying to do the Boston accent. Wait till you see this. This is hilarious. Brainless, yeah, well, brainless millennial. There was another one. What was the other one we were using the other night? Who did we get it from? Oh man, we had a good one. I'll have to flip it over later. This guy though. Wait till you. All right.
How long to die in cold? How long does it take? But why is she even asking that? I thought she saw him go inside the house. And if you haven't been paying attention or your brain doesn't work.
So he leads with how long to die in the cold, which is not really the best thing you want to lead with, bud. So thanks for bringing that up.
She was repeating the same things over and over and over and over that morning. Is he dead? Is he dead? Is he dead? Is he dead? That's my boyfriend. That's my boyfriend. That's my boyfriend. And then it became, that's my husband. That's my husband. What am I going to do about the kids? I can't take care of the kids on my own. She's a complete psychopath.
You're a psycho, dude. You spend all your time going after someone who you haven't heard all the evidence about yet. And all the evidence so far that we've heard raises huge doubt. And anyone who has a sane mind would see that. Even people in the middle who say, I haven't made up my mind. I don't know enough about it. Not enough information. I'm going to wait till trial. That's the sane thing to do on this. You're a friggin' psycho, dude. You're trying to convict this woman. And there's been so much bullshit that's come out. FBI investigation. Federal grand jury. Michael Proctor under investigation. Michael Lank with the lawsuit for, the fight with the Albert brother. And just what happened on Friday, jackass. I mean, were you watching what happened on Friday, jackass? You're a psycho. Boundless, feckless, coward, punk. You're a punk.
She knows damn well she has no legal rights to those kids. She knows that's not her husband. And
she actually cared about those kids. That's what when you're in shock. She was thinking about those kids, jackass. You have any kids? What do you take care of a cat, a dog? I'm sure you'd be thinking about your cat or dog or whatever your parakeet. What do you hold? A gerbil? I don't even know.
She's pretending like, oh, now I have to take care of the kids by myself. Boo-hoo, poor me, I can't do it. Psycho.
Oh, this dude. Oof. Look at his face. Psycho.
Oh, as soon as
there's no way he has kids. I know, right? Or even like stepkids. Like I have a stepson. We don't call him the stepson because I'm not married. We're not married. We've just been together for 20 years, living together. And we're a family. We don't need to do the paperwork. But there's no way. Yeah. I very much doubt it. Look at this dude. Psycho. I'm living in sin. I guess I am. Yeah. I got Catholic guilt, but not about that. Not about that.
doors to the ambulance shut, Karen Reed went from, oh, my poor husband, to F them kids. F Kerry Roberts. Kerry Roberts, the girl that she dragged out of bed in the middle of the night to show her childhood friend dead on the side of the road. I mean, Caitlin Albert and Katie McLaughlin, just because they graduated the same year doesn't mean they're best friends. I graduated in a class of 80 people, and I did a lot of events with those people. But after a couple years, I only talked to like 3 people.
This is funny.
And I believe her, because if they really were close friends, do you know how many
So after a couple years, you only talked to like 3 people? After a couple years, Caitlin Albert and this Katie were on vacation together. So I guess that means they're more than an acquaintance, huh, jackass? Oh.
people would be coming out of the woodwork saying, she's
I love this spot. People would be coming out of the woodwork, huh? If she was lying, people would be coming out of the woodwork. Why do you think I'm doing a show tonight, jackass? Why do you think? Why do you think we predicted that last night, that people would be coming out of the friggin' woodwork? Yeah, people would be coming out of the woodwork, boundless millennial, if she was lying. That's exactly what would happen.
lying, she's lying. All over social media, all you people still simping
Oh, boy.
for Karen Reed, you're sick.
You're sick. So you just basically said, let's read that, play that back.
Do you know how many people would be coming out of the woodwork?
You know how many people would be coming out of the woodwork? Really? Really? How do you think we got that picture? That was already out. Love this stare down Karen Reed gave her. How do you think we got this photo? How do you think we got this photo? How do you think we got this photo, bro? I know you're smarter than this boundless moron. How do you think we got this leaked today? From her friends. Notice the friends' faces are not blocked out. Who do you think's blocking out their faces? Probably one of the people sending and posting these anonymously online. Her friends are calling her out, jackass. More pictures from another trip in 2016. They went to Maine, apparently. These are her friends calling her out anonymously. Jackass, millennial. Oh, look, hot tub. Notice, too, I noticed about all these pictures. The morons like millennial and all these other clowns out there, they want to say, well, they were in group photos. They didn't really know each other that well. They went on vacation together. Multiple trips now, it looks like. And in all of the photos, in their group photos, they're always standing right next to each other, hugging each other. Look at them. How close can you be in a hot tub? Do these two look like people that aren't close friends? Do you get in hot tubs and get really close to people in a hot tub that you're not friendly with? And this isn't someone that's, 50, 60 years old that hasn't been friends with these people in 30 years. These are young people. So, full of shit. And it's so funny, dude, that you get up there and you say, oh, surely someone would call them out on social media. Well, all day, all we did was get new photos. There's photos I haven't even posted because I don't want people, I haven't, screened them out. And because there's yearbook photos, for instance, where they're on the same cross-country team. Now, I played sports. I wouldn't consider every teammate I ever had as a friend. However, I would consider them more than an acquaintance. They were teammates. That's like another level. Like, it doesn't matter if it doesn't matter if it's been 20, 30 years. You see them, you were on the team together. That never, ever goes away. So how about former teammate? That might have been a better description of the relationship. Maybe not best friends, okay, but more than acquaintances. And the fact that she was so defensive and kept going back to this limiting, and Jackson destroyed her. He ate her up. He ate her for lunch, and we know more is coming. And what's glorious about this is they're just getting started. And it shows that they're going to play hardball. Kevin is up there saying, I can't believe they did this to her. The jury's going to hate them. No, the jury now knows what's going on here already. And we haven't even gotten to the big witnesses. What do you think Caitlin Albert is going to say about all this if she's on the stand? People want to know why Beverly Cannoni didn't allow the photo in. Apparently, it was because the defense didn't submit it in time for her to review. And she's getting pissed, I think, about both sides doing this. But I think the defense has a reason to do this is because every time they submit evidence, the prosecution makes up a story to counter it. So they're trying to protect their hand in this. They know that they're going up against a unfair, not just, not looking for justice prosecution here. So this is getting pretty wild, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens on Monday. I want to play more video tonight. A lot more. I want to play the video of her. We had the quick intro from John Cuomo, which was so great. It gave you almost, all the good stuff, but I want to just go through the whole thing by myself tonight. Again, tomorrow night, this is going to be a short show tonight, but tomorrow night, Monday night, I'm not Monday, I'm losing my mind. Sunday night at 7 p.m., Rita Lombardi's back on the show. I can't wait for this. Mike and Rita and Mike, one-on-one. It's going to be a fun show tomorrow night. Bobby M., thank you so much for the super chat. We got a super chat. How many nudes did Proctor hope he would find? I know, right? How quickly they excuse that. Before I get to the main video, I also want to play this little nugget. There's so many good people on the other side to just kind of laugh at. This is just crazy today, too. Actually, I don't have it there. Hold on one second. I'm on the fly with all my video tonight. I'm sure most of you already saw it, but I got to play it just to make sure that all of you have seen it. All right, this is a great video. This is 34 Fairview. New homeowners. They've asked people not to show up at the house. Jennifer Coffindaffer gives Turtle Boy all kinds of crap and calls and lies and says all kinds of crap about the bad behavior. She shows up to these people's house, start taking pictures in their shrubbery, basically, like a creeper. Like, I would be frightened, especially with that, like, I don't know what the hell that is, a tunic or whatever that. You'll see. She looks like a psychopath. And then you could tell she notices a camera, or the camera even says, hey, what the hell are you doing? And she runs. And this is a former FBI person. Let's watch this one. She's fucking insane. Run, Jennifer, run. Just like you do on Twitter. Run. Look at her run. She's going to walk across. This is hilarious. This is what a psychopath looks like. Running. Look at her run. And her tunic. The hell is she wearing? All right. I'm done with that one. So what I'm going to do right now is I want to go through the video with Katie McLaughlin. A lot of this, the fan.
Okay, so we have four pieces of paper marked for identification that appear, you got these off of social media sites, Mr. Jackson?
That's correct.
Okay, when did you get these?
I couldn't tell you the exact date, but we probably have them for between 6 months and a year.
All right. And Commonwealth, you've not seen these before?
No, Your Honor.
Right. So we'll talk about Rule 14 in a little bit, but we'll bring the witness in. You can ask her questions, Mr. Jackson, about her vacation that you mentioned, the drinking that you talked about, the relationship with Ms. Albert. I've forgotten the first name already.
All right, we got to stop it. We got a super chat. Some guy with cancer says, would BM get in a hot tub with people he didn't know? Don't give him any more ideas. Dude is definitely carrying around an odd number of chromosomes. Thank you so much for the donation. Some guy with cancer.
And Caitlin, and about the house. So you can ask her questions about that. And let's see, you can show her these exhibits or these marked for identification if you need to. You may have trouble actually getting those into evidence, but I'm going to let you find out. You can ask her to identify them, how long ago they were, things like that.
Thank you.
All right, could we bring in Ms. McLaughlin, please? Yes. And Commonwealth, you just saw these today. I'm sorry, I don't remember if I asked you that.
Yes, and yes.
And you were objecting that, you objected at sidebar that these come in at all?
Correct.
Okay. Oh, here's the fourth one, I'm sorry. Mr. Jackson, here's the last one. All right, so Ms. McLaughlin, Mr. Jackson's going to be allowed to ask you questions outside the presence of the jury, and you're still under oath and you have to answer them truthfully, okay? Okay.
Jennifer Coffindaffer was taking pictures of 34 Fairview Road in Canton, which is Brian Albert's former home, where John O'Keefe was found. Real stable one there. It's not enough to take a photo from the street even. You had to like walk up, creep up. I guess the homeowner was pissed off. The way we got the video, that everyone got the video, was Turtle Boy. The homeowner sent it to Turtle Boy because they're not happy about what she did.
McLaughlin, when just briefly as a predicate, when you stepped out, I just want to make sure we're very clear. Did you have a conversation with anybody from the Commonwealth between the time you walked out of court and just now?
Wait a minute. No, I did not hear this. I don't know if this is true, a rumor, a joke. I'm putting it up here. I'm asking the crowd to look into this. Anyone else here? Katie's grandfather was FBI John Conley? No, I did not hear that. And I think I would have at this point with all the info flying around. But if there's any truth to that, let us know, people. I've not heard that. I think someone's joking here.
Just about if I needed a drink of water or to use the restroom.
Okay, but nothing about the substance of your testimony.
No.
I want to know where you read it. Where did you read that, Rogue? Let me know.
Ms. McLaughlin, I asked you before we broke if you know who Caitlin Albert is.
Yes.
You said that you went to high school with somebody by that name, correct?
Yes.
You, in fact, know that person as a friend, correct?
Exactly. I think Turtle Boy would have exposed that by now. Bring the receipts. Exactly. That's what I'm about. That's what I like about this Karen Reed stuff. It was like the True Leaf story that I was doing with Lorna McMurray. I was the lead on everything. It's a lot of stress. It's good that we have this huge community. All these different creators will track it down, and especially Turtle Boy. Like he's gonna bring the receipts on anything. So I haven't heard it. So many times too, I hear stuff about like Karen Reed. I get news nuggets of this or that. Like even the Rafferty. Remember the Rafferty car crash there? They were sending me that info. I just didn't have time to follow up on it and confirm it. And of course, Turtle Boy did within a day. So it's great to have somebody like that will track down those leads and confirm them and have a story out and share it with everybody. Really awesome, actually.
I know her.
She's more than an acquaintance.
I would say she's an acquaintance. She's not a close friend.
Is she in a group of friends of yours?
We have mutual friends.
How long have you known her?
Probably since high school.
When you say, and I don't want to ask your age, I wouldn't do that. How many years? How long of a span of years have you known her?
Since high school, so maybe 10.
And you know her family generally?
I don't.
You don't know anything about her family?
I don't know her family.
Had you ever been to her house?
Not that I recall ever being there.
Not that you recall, or you haven't? So there's two different things.
I don't recall ever being there.
Okay, so you might have been there, you just don't recall.
I don't recall ever being there.
Okay. If I were to ask you if you have ever been to her house, yes or no, you cannot answer that because you don't know. You cannot recall, correct?
I would say, I would lean towards no. I have no recollection of ever being at her house.
Yeah, I'm not. I like this comment from Jerry, but I'm not confident in declaring that. But I'm going to read it. Jerry says, not only is Caitlin Albert her friend, those photos show it's her best friend. And what I'm saying on this is that is a good possibility. Because the photos do show them hugging. And the photos do show in the group photos, they're closest together. At least two of those, like 2 or 3 of those photos. So it looks like at least at one time they were pretty damn close. I don't know if it's best friend or one of my best friends or a good friend, but at a certain point, it would look to me like they were friends. Let's just say that they were definitely friends. And that would have been the honest thing to say. Yeah, I don't get the shading. Acquaintance. She was an acquaintance. I don't call anyone an acquaintance that I was on a team with. I mean, that's just strange. That's like very impersonal, not real. Like, I don't think that she calls them. I don't think if she was talking to someone about who Caitlin Albert to her outside of court, I don't think she would call her an acquaintance. I would think she would call her a friend that she grew up with. Like, I have a lot of friends from high school and college and before that, middle school, that I don't talk to anymore. People I grew up with in the neighborhood. We're Facebook friends. And if I see them out, a lot of them, I'm going to give them a big hug and say, hi, what have you been up to? You know what I mean? They're friends. We may not talk every day. They may not be any more my best friends, But some of them at one time were best friends of mine. Like there were people I hung out with every day. So, and we're all different on that. Some people keep more of their friends from high school and some don't. Like really close friends. Let's just say that. And I think townies are more likely to keep their high school friends, actually. So to me, she looks like a townie. Like if you grew up and work in the same town that you grew up in, you're more likely to keep those high school friends. That's one thing I've noticed about my people I grew up with. They're generally closer to the people they grew up with if they live in that town still. You know, the ones that stayed behind. And now their kids are friends. I mean, I see that on Facebook when I look at the kids I graduated with. A lot of times it's kids we all grew up with. They stayed in the same town, and now their kids are on sports teams together. You know, so that's how deep it gets. So I'm not buying any of this. Like knowing what I know about Massachusetts local high school towns and townies and people who stay behind and people who like move to the city or another state. And not that people that move to the city or another state give up all their friends from the past, but naturally, when you're not around them as much, you kind of lose that connection. If you're going to the same bars and restaurants, gyms, things like that, you're going to see the people you grew up with that are still living in the area. So I'm not buying any of this. If she was going on vacation with her 2 years after high school, I think that they were friends. And I think that this whole thing is dishonest. And she could have handled it so much better. And I don't think that she should have had an issue that they were friends. And because that she's made it an issue, you have to question why. And I think that's what the jury is doing right now. And everyone's all caught up on the jury didn't get to see the pictures. I think it would have been nice for the jury to see the pictures so they would know exactly what's going on. But it doesn't even matter. The attorney Betterow said that last night. The point was already made. The pictures were described. The jury already knows what the pictures are. The jury, because they haven't seen the pictures, probably even think it's wilder than it actually is. So it seems like that even benefits the defense even more. So again, the prosecution is failing even when they keep out evidence. Not working. Not working. It's just like when they go after Turtle Boy. It has the opposite effect. When you call someone an acquaintance, it has the opposite effect because you're lying. You're being dishonest. You can't hide that. These people aren't actors. She's not Angelina Jolie. They crumple in front of that camera. And I can't imagine what concerned jurors are thinking right now. And that's the thing. We don't know. This is the whole thing about the justice system. It really depends on what kind of jury you get. So that's what we don't know. And that's why I want to have Rita on the show Monday night, because Grant Smith Ellis is now spreading disinformation about what the jury's thinking and doing. And we can't trust that. So we need to get some folks in that have been in front of the jury and watching what's going on. And Rita Lombardi is going to come on tomorrow night at 7 p.m. to talk about that on the show. And hopefully we'll get Jessica Machado back after she reports more from the Karen Reed trial this week. But let's play more of this.
Are you friends with her on social media?
Yes.
May I approach her on that?
Yes.
I'm just going to leave all four of these up here. I know what they look like. Can you do me a favor and take a look at the first document? What does that document appear to be?
It says Caitlin's friends.
What does it look like? That's a printout of.
I'm sorry.
What does that look like? It's a printout of. Does that look like it's from Facebook or one of the social media apps?
Layup. Actually, I think it's Lee Baker. Still not sure. You didn't. In your message, you didn't quite tell me how to say it. So I'm going to say Miss Baker sent 1999 super chat. Thank you so much. She says, going to play Mic Drop of the View of 34 Fairview Road, question mark. I'm not sure. Like, what is that? I'm not even sure what you're referring to. Is it, you talking about Coffin Daver? Because we did play that earlier. We could play that again, but, I don't know if you're talking about the visit that they did to, the address. I'm not sure what you mean by that, but thank you so much for the donation. I don't know why I'm having a problem actually now. Let me see where StreamYard isn't letting me put up the super chats on the screen. That is weird. I got new members. Maybe there's just too many of you that can't keep up. Let me. I might have to refresh this because I want to put them up. Here's one. Okay, I found it anyways. There it is. Thank you so much. It's just not allowing me to aggregate them, which to find them easy. I don't know why. All right, let's get back to the video. Thank you so much for the donation. Really appreciate all the donations that have been coming in.
Yeah, I don't know exactly. Some social media.
Okay. Under Caitlin's friends, do you see your handle, for lack of a better phrase?
I do.
Okay. Is that you?
Yes.
Okay. Can you look at the next photograph? Before we talk about that next photograph, which is, I should go in order for the record, Your Honor.
Julio says StreamYard has been broken. I think we broke it last night, the last 2 nights with attorney Mark Betterow. Guy's pretty amazing. And Mazza Media too. I haven't listened to them at all, which is funny because I usually do listen to them, but I imagine they were pretty good shows. Like it felt good. I just sit back. I try to. I hope I didn't talk over him at it. I don't know. I don't think I did. But been pretty amazing the last few nights. I think we did. I think we broke StreamYard. Too many comments. And oh, is she even here tonight? MJ. I want to thank MJ again for last night. She sent me a message after that I need to slow down the chat when it's like that, which of course I do. I screwed up again. It's hard doing all this stuff, you know. I'm in the old days, all I did was talk on the mic. It was so easy. Now I'm like producing and looking at the chat, and it gets crazy in here. But it's pretty cool. I'm not complaining because now you don't need other people to help you out. You just run the whole show yourself, which I love. But for someone like me, I can't believe I'm running all this stuff. But I'll do better for MJ. I will do better I'll slow down the chat next time. Anytime I see, you know what, I'm gonna make a rule now. Anytime I see like close to 1,000 people in the chat, I slow it down. I have to for MJ. Or if I'm having a problem, I was having the same problem she was. I couldn't. I try to click on a comment to post, and I end up posting a different comment because they come in so fast. You can't even catch the comments you want to. It's crazy. It was crazy last night. But I love it. I thank you so much, that you guys are all supporting the show right now. That's why I want to do it every night right now. All right, let's go back to this. Let's go back to lying. I don't want to call her a liar, but if I had to bet on it, I would bet she's lying. And that's what the jury has to do. They have to think about probability. And if I had to bet on whether Katie's a liar, and if she's lying about this, what else is she lying about?
The first one was H. Before we talk about I, which is the next photograph, how long have you been social media friends, quote, friends with Caitlin Albert?
I don't know.
More than 5 years?
Probably.
More than
Now, Millennial did make a good point in his little video that people would be talking. Her friends would be talking if she was lying with social media. And we've already seen that today. We've heard even before she testified, and especially in the last 24 hours, that there's going to be possibly more stuff coming out.
8 years?
I don't know.
The second photograph, or the second document appears to be a photograph. It's I, is that right?
Yes,
Do you see yourself in that photograph?
I do.
Do you see Caitlin in that photograph?
I do.
When was that photograph taken?
I have no idea.
Where was that photograph taken?
I don't know.
You have no idea how long ago that was?
Julio, that was a good comment. I got no comment on that one. That's the thing why I love and hate hot tubs. You know, it's like, oh, it's better be clean. It better be a clean one. Everyone needs to take a shower before they even get in the hot tub with me.
I don't.
What was the event that was depicted, or that is depicted in that photograph?
I don't know.
Is that local, or was that on a trip somewhere?
I don't know. Probably local. If it's a beach, I don't remember. I've never been away to a beach on vacation with all of these people, so probably local.
When we say local, let's talk about local. I don't mean, we may have different definitions.
So now they're not vacations; they're local. I want to know if they got hotels. Was it like driving back and forth? Maybe it was. It probably was. Who knows? Poor kids. Couldn't get a hotel room. I want to know how far whatever this place in Cape Cod is from Canton. Trying to think. I bet it's an hour, hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, 3 hours at the most. So it could definitely be up and back during the day. But they look like they're drinking a storm up. So I wonder if someone got a house there and they stayed over. 45 to an hour. Okay, so it's the first part of the Cape, I'm guessing. So it's not that far. They could have definitely driven up there. What about the hot tub in Maine though?
Where would that be? What beach? I'm not as familiar with the location.
I'm not sure.
Maybe on the Cape?
Possibly.
Okay. Do you recognize some of the other folks in that photograph?
I do.
Yeah. Maine definitely isn't local. Maine is not an hour away. Maine is trying to think how far from Canton. It's got to be probably 2 hours away, actually. Hour and a half, 2 hours. You see, this is someone said it's 2 hours to Buzzard Bay. Yeah, but I want to know what part of the Cape that is because I've never heard of that area of the Cape Cod. I'm not sure if it's Upper Cape, Lower Cape, Mid Cape. But if it's just at the beginning of the Cape, it would be 45 minutes to an hour to get there. But Maine is much further away. It depends what part of Maine you're going. But if you're just going to like Kittery, Maine, at least I would say 90 minutes if you're flying with no traffic. So it's got to be, I'd say 2 hours from Canton at least. And if they're staying anywhere, up on the coast, a little further up, it's further. So it's Lower Cape, likely. That's what people are saying. I don't know. But either way, it's very defensive. Oh, this wasn't a vacation.
Matter of fact, there's a lot of people in that photograph, right?
There's a lot of people in it.
Did you take a trip with all those people at some point in the past?
Take a trip
to the beach.
Someone said it's near Mashpee, so I'm gonna do that right now. Someone said it's actually an hour and a half, 2 hours. Canton to Mashpee. Let's see how far that is. Commute time. Let's just look that up. It says 1 hour and 5 minutes. 63 miles though. So, So it's at least an hour, if not more. I bet it's more than that. Looking at where it's at, it is kind of right at the beginning of the Cape. It's not Provincetown, not at all. Not even Dennis or Hyannis. It's yeah. It's the first part of the Cape. So yeah, it's like an hour and a half, maybe with traffic. If traffic on the bridge, maybe 2 hours. If there's a lot of traffic on the bridge.
Did I go to the beach at some point with these people? Yes.
Okay. When did you go to the beach with all those folks?
I don't know. I don't know when this picture is from.
Have you
It
gone?
seems old to me, but
well, you can see yourself. I mean,
Yeah.
What was that? Did you say it seems old to you?
Yeah, to me.
Okay.
This isn't like a recent to me.
how old?
It seems old. It's like, it was like probably what, 7 years ago? Was it 2016? Yeah. So it's like 8 years, 7, 8 years ago. Seems old to me. Okay. 7 or 8 years ago, you were hanging out with her.
Do you think that photograph is?
I don't know. It could be around high school. I'm not sure.
And I know Mr. Jack.
Could be around high school. Could be 2 years after high school too, couldn't it? Funny how she considers 2. It's for me. There were a lot of kids you kind of knew and hung around with in high school, but then a year or two after high school, you kind of fell away from people because you didn't see them every day, and so you had kind of a much smaller crew of people that you would consistently hang out with. And obviously, 2 years later, these two were in that kind of clique.
Jackson didn't want to ask you how old you are. When did you get out of high school?
2014. I
Okay.
graduated.
So could that have been around 2014?
It could be.
So you've known Caitlin for at least that long.
Yeah.
And when I
So this girl's got to be late 20s now. So these ladies aren't even 30 years old. I don't believe that they're not friends. The more and more I think about this,
say travel, I mean travel outside of Canton. Gone places with her, correct?
Yes.
You posed for photographs with her,
Yes.
with other folks.
Yes.
It's like socializing and partying, correct?
Looks like socializing.
Maybe a small vacation.
10 years out of high school. That's basically what it is, right? Just said 2014. 10 years out. So 9, let's call it not. No, it's 10 years because basically we're in spring. They would have graduated in a month. So it's basically a month short of 10 years. So we all know how old people are when they graduate. So add 10 years to that's how old she is.
I've never been on vacation with a
Somewhere
big group
around
of
there.
people like this.
Well, that doesn't look like what would you call that if that's not like a mini vacation?
A day at the beach.
A day at the beach. Okay, so maybe
Yeah, and this is a good point. 10 years out, but still lives in Canton. So, and I feel like if they had a falling out, she would have said that because she's very defensive. And in a way, I don't blame her, but there's a way to handle it. And I wish she had been coached by some better people, maybe, who actually had her interest at heart. Because to me, this looks like she's been pressured. Or these firefighters have all talked themselves into it. They're a bunch of gossips and EMTs. I mean, that's the other likelihood because they're friends with these people. But this isn't natural. The way that she's acting about this. Yeah, Maine seems like a vacation. I don't know a lot of people that drive up to Maine for a beach day. I don't know. Maybe they do in Canton because they're so far away from the beach. Because it's not the western part of the state, Canton, but it takes probably an hour to get to the beach. So I don't know. I think Maine would be a vacation. Seems like it.
a day vacation.
Sure.
Okay, let's look at the next photograph. Jay,
That was a fake left. Sure.
may I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
I do need to remind myself. That photograph looks a little older, correct?
They both look old.
I love this one. Did the McAlberts go up to Maine? Doesn't everyone go up to Maine, though? I mean, I've been to Maine a bunch of times. different, ex-girlfriend, girlfriend from college. Her family used to go up there every year. So I used to go up there with them. And then my family, a lot of my family, so a lot of people go to Maine, and a lot of people go to the Cape too, obviously.
Told to me. I don't know when they're from.
I'm going to ask you the same questions about that. These aren't trick questions. I don't want to waste your time. What's that from?
I don't remember specifically what or where this is.
Do you see yourself in that photograph?
I like them both. Massley's holes are either Cape people or Maine people. I like them both. They're a little bit different, but they're both similar in a way. It's funny. But I like going on vacation on either one of those. If I haven't been on vacation in years now. Who am I kidding? Dog business get to go on vacation? No, we just cover people's emergencies and vacations. We never get a vacation. I got family members we're like training to take some of the business. It's hard to say no. Someone said yes, but I prefer the Cape. Winnipesaukee. I love Winnipesaukee too. See, I like it all. I like New Hampshire too. I like Hampton Beach. I used to hang out as a kid in Hampton Beach a lot. Salisbury Beach in Mass. I mean, I like Revere Beach for Christ's sakes. So how do you think I would do it in Gunkwit or Dennisport? I love Dennis. Hyannis, even, Provincetown. Love it. All right, let's go.
I do.
You see Caitlin in the photograph?
I do.
You're all posing for the camera, correct?
Yes.
What's the location?
I don't know.
No idea.
I don't.
This is yet another socializing event with Caitlin that you can't recall.
I don't know where this is
that
exactly.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to step on your words. Go ahead.
I don't know where this is exactly.
So you've had so many socializing events with Caitlin and other folks that you can't pinpoint this one as opposed to any of the others that you've had.
No, I'm saying I can't. These photos are old. I don't know. I don't remember where these were or the circumstances around them. That's what I'm saying.
You see how you're dressed in that?
Now, she could be telling the truth here. I kind of think that she's not. Like, I think that she knows she's not. However, she might not know because she's hung out with her so many goddamn times. And the picture that I think she's looking at is the crop photo. So she may legitimately not know. Let's keep that in mind here. People call her a liar throughout this. Sometimes she could be being truthful. I think she's being deceptive. I don't know if it goes to perjury and all that. I don't think she should be thrown in jail or charged or any of this shit. But I think what's important is the jury saw through this. And I think if you look at it like we're looking at it, it's pretty obvious. And like I said, she might be truthful about the part that she doesn't know where the photo was taken, but that also indicates she's not being truthful about their relationship. That would mean that they had hung out a billion times. So it's funny how when you lie or deceptive, it's obvious.
That photo?
Yes.
You see how you see the other friends that are there with you?
Yeah.
How many people would you estimate are in that photo?
It's funny when you say think she's definitely lying, but the point is on this is what is she lying about? You know what I mean? I mean, we know what she's lying about, but does she recognize this photo? I don't know. Maybe she doesn't. And maybe she doesn't because she has been with this woman so many times she wouldn't know. You know what I mean? Like, I got friends that I hung out with a million times. You showed me a photo of us together. I wouldn't remember when it was taken because we hung out with so many times. Do you know? So I wonder how many times they actually went to the beach or went to the pool. You know what I mean? It's not. So what is she lying about? It's obvious to me. I think it's about the relationship. And she's trying to minimize this relationship. It's so obvious with the word acquaintance. We're just acquaintances. They're on the same track team. They're a cross country team. I don't know about you, but I remember my teammates. And if I see them today or I talk to them on Facebook, like I still consider them teammates. If someone asks me, who's that? I would say, oh, it's someone I was a team with. You know what I mean? Not an acquaintance. Acquaintance is like someone you ran into once with a friend of a friend and said hi to. Not a teammate.
Do you want me to count how many people?
Give me it. I don't have the photo in front of me, so just give me it. Is it more than 5?
12
12 people.
ish.
Do you recognize those dozen people?
I do.
Did you go on a day trip with those dozen people?
Yeah, possibly.
When?
I don't know.
Where?
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm sorry. That sounded so like, oh, she is not good at this. She thinks she is too. I don't know why it's not letting us put up the super chats tonight. I really want to thank Luna's mom, and I hope I don't miss any super chats tonight because of it. I think we broke StreamYard, or StreamYard's broken tonight, but I could see them. So when they come up, they show up at the top, but I may miss some too. So I'm worried about StreamYard. But Luna's mom, thank you so much for the super chat, $10. She says, I am mid-50s and you could show me any picture of myself from high school and I could tell you when and most likely where by my hairstyle, clothes, background of people. She has diabetes. See, I don't think I could. You know, I don't think I could remember every place I was with friends because we hung out. We went out to a lot of places. You know what I mean? So. When and most likely where. Yeah. I think the where would be the hardest part.
I don't know. I don't remember.
How many times have you gone on day trips with those dozen people?
I don't know.
I don't know. See, that to me has got to be a lie. And it's tough to say what is a lie. It's just not honest. Because a more honest answer would be it's not I don't know. An honest answer would be once, many times, several times, 2 or 3 times. That would be an honest answer. Like you may not know the exact number, but you'd have an idea. You know? I can remember going up actually to a gun club with that ex-girlfriend I mentioned, with some of her friends. We would we would be like double dates for the weekend with some of her friends and their boyfriends, and we would all get a hotel room up there and stay up there and stuff. And I know for a fact that we did that more than once. And I wouldn't say we did it like 50 times or 100 times. I'd say we did it 2 or 3 times. And that was, I would say, like what, 20 something, 25 years ago. So that's an honest answer I just gave. She's not doing that. Not doing it. Deceptive, not sharing information. Like she was coached to say these things by a bad coach. A coach that, I mean, this is one of your first witnesses the prosecution is putting up, this woman. Not ready for prime time.
How about turning back to photograph I? How many times have you gone on day trips and socialized with those number of people? It looks like probably double that, 20 or 25 people.
I don't know.
That's a big group of friends of yours that includes Caitlin Albert, right?
A big group of mutual friends.
So it's not just that she's a mutual friend, she's a friend.
So now she is beating. It's getting closer to we're with a group of mutual friends. Not an acquaintance anymore. We're with a group of mutual friends. That's her new. Jackson's good.
Isn't that right?
And the thing about it's funny that Kevin is up there saying that the defense badgered her and attacked her and really went hard on her. No, they didn't actually. He didn't go hard on her. He was just asking basic questions from her. And she couldn't answer them. And she was being defensive. I mean, if you look at this interaction. If you don't know either one of these folks, if you don't know Jackson, you don't know this witness, and you just come cold off the street, you don't know anything about this case, you haven't even watched any of the previous jury testimony. If you just watch their demeanors, you would say that woman is being not nice and not being forthcoming. Jackson doesn't seem like a bully. I mean, I've seen tough questioning of jurors. I mean, of witnesses. This isn't it, but he's doing it the right way.
As I said before,
And he asks a question and he shuts the hell up too. That's what the other part I like. Do you hear that? That I'm comfortable. I used to do sales and marketing, and especially sales, like financial advisor. Went through these programs, and it's part of why, like, a lot of you maybe like the show when I have guests on, is because there's a thing in sales where when you first start doing sales, you talk and talk and talk. You do your presentation, and then sometimes a lot of salespeople, and I used to do do this in the beginning. You don't know when to shut the hell up. You might already have the sale from someone, and then you continue to talk, and you talk them out of it because you didn't shut the hell up. And so there's a point where you ask a question and you ask for the commitment to buy the product. And then you just shut the hell up. You let it be silent. You let them be uncomfortable, because that uncomfortable moment, they've got to make a decision. And that's what Jackson's doing right here. He just asked the question and shut the hell up. And she's like, It's freaking great. Watch this again.
yeah.
How many people would you estimate are in that photo?
Do you want me to count how many people?
Give me it. I don't have the photo in front of me, so just give me it. Is it more than 5?
12
12 people.
ish.
Okay. Do you recognize those dozen people?
I do.
Did you go on a day trip with those dozen people?
Yeah, possibly.
When?
I don't know.
Where?
I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't remember.
How many times have you gone on day trips with those dozen people?
I don't know.
How about turning back to photograph I? How many times have you gone on day trips and socialized with those number of people? Which looks like probably double that, 20 or 25 people.
I don't know.
That's a big group of friends of yours that includes Caitlin Albert, right?
A big group of mutual friends.
So it's not just that she's a mutual friend, she's a friend. Isn't that right?
As I said before, I would consider myself more of an acquaintance. We have mutual friends.
Look at this whole thing. See how great that was? He asked that question. He shut the hell up. It's so good. He's so good at this. This guy's, love him.
Oh, I'm saying I can't. These photos are old. I don't know. I don't remember where these were or the circumstances around them. That's what I'm saying.
You see how you're dressed in that photo?
Yes.
You see how you see the other friends that are there with you?
Yeah.
How many people would you estimate are?
I love these comments. Amy in Boston says, "Where's the lie?" That's the thing. I'm not here to like call out specific lies. What I'm trying to say, it's pretty obvious what I'm saying, and what most people get from this is that she's not being forthcoming. She's being deceptive. She's choosing words like acquaintances that she wouldn't use in real life. And why is she using that word? Is because she's trying to minimize her relationship with Caitlin Halbert. And when you try to minimize something, then people pay attention to it. And that's what the jury's doing right now. So she failed. That's what I'm saying. And the jury doesn't trust her testimony. So where's the lie? Where's the trust? How do you trust this person? when she just can't be honest and just become forthcoming and say, hey, she was my friend. I wouldn't deny any of my friends growing up. I got friends I never see anymore. If someone asked me if they're my friend, I'd say, yeah, grew up with that kid. He's one of my best friends growing up. I love that kid. You know? She's not doing that. And it's fairly obvious that they were friends. Or if it could be the opposite. We were friends at one point. We're not too friendly now. I mean, I could say that about a couple people, maybe. Not really, but I could see that situation coming up for somebody though. But she's not doing that. She's choosing words like acquaintances. Who picked that word for her? Did she pick that word or did someone else tell her that's a good word to use? But I love Jackson. Ask the question, shut the hell up. She had that uncomfortable moment. Listen to this.
In that photo.
Do you want me to count how many people?
Give me it. I don't have the photo in front of me, so just give me it.
That weird laugh too. Do you want me to count?
5,
12
12 people.
ish.
Do you recognize those dozen people?
I do.
Did you go on a day trip with those dozen people?
Yeah, possibly.
When?
I don't know.
Where?
I'm sorry. I don't know.
Like that, I don't know. Sounded like something you would tell your mom or your dad when they busted you for something. Or telling some, you know what I mean? It just, that was a weird, I don't know. I can't even do it. It's not in my vocabulary.
I don't remember.
How many times have you gone on day trips with those dozen people?
I don't know.
How about turning back to photograph I? How many times have you gone on day trips and socialized with those number of people? It looks like probably double that, 20 or 25 people.
I don't know.
That's a big group of friends of yours that includes Kate.
Oh, so I misunderstood what Amy in Boston was saying. Okay, cool. So I said Jackson could talk the panties off a nun, followed by where's the lie? Okay, that makes sense. He is good. The guy's got some skills, man. Both of them. Yannetti's fire too, and Little's good. She's got a great defense team. Thank you so much for the super chat money. Amy in Boston. Thank you for the comments too. Oh, I just screwed up. Here's another one. Just got another super chat. Monica sent us $4.99. Thank you so much, Monica. Thank you for all the donations tonight.
Albert, right?
A big group of mutual friends.
So it's not just that she's a mutual friend, she's a friend. Isn't that right?
As I said before, I would
God, I'm muted. Sorry. I feel bad for her. But I had to stop that and play it back because of the eyes, what she did, the tell. It was such a tell. I'm not still muted. I'm live now, right? So, such a tell. Such a tell. She closed those eyes.
I don't have the photo in front of me, so just give me, is it more than 5?
And right now, she got the head down.
12
people.
ish.
Do you recognize those dozen people?
I do.
Did you go on a day trip with those dozen people?
Yeah, possibly.
When?
I don't know.
Where?
I'm sorry. I don't know.
That sounds like talking. That sounds to me like a spouse talking to a husband when they're annoyed with them.
I don't remember.
How many times have you gone on day trips with those dozen people?
I don't know.
How about turning back to photograph I? How many times have you gone on day trips and socialized with those number of people? Which looks like probably double that, 20 or 25 people.
I don't know.
That's a big group of friends of yours that includes Caitlin Albert, right?
A big group of mutual friends.
So it's not just that she's a mutual friend, she's a friend. Isn't that right?
As I said before, I
Closes the eyes, gulps. You see that? As I said before, closes the eyes and then gulps. And Jackson's just silent. He knows he's got her.
I would consider myself more of an acquaintance. We have mutual friends. I wouldn't consider her a close friend, but yeah, I mean that would be my answer.
You basically grew up with her, went to high school with her.
Or the same cross country team with her.
I didn't grow up with.
You hugged her. She didn't grow up with her. Now she sounds like Bill Clinton. I love that John Como did an intro video tonight. He's got some Bill Clinton clips on this stuff, and she sounds like Bill Clinton in a way. I smoked, but I didn't inhale. I didn't have sexual relationships with that young lady. I didn't grow up with her. What did you do? What do you call it? You went to the same high school. You were on the same track team. You were in the same everything together. You got pictures together, hugging each other. You got a bunch of group pictures where you guys are close together. You're in a freaking hot tub. You got Venmo stuff going on. So you're in the contact. People assume that if you're in the Venmo contacts that you've sent money back and forth. That's not necessarily true. But what it is true is that they either have sent money back and forth or they have texted, or talked on the phone. They have each other's communication. They're linked up. They're in each other's phone books. So one or the other, I mean, that's more confirmation. The acquaintance zone. That's the new one. Instead of being in the friend zone, you're in the acquaintance zone. You're gonna step down from the friend zone. You're not even a friend zone. You're an acquaintance zone now, buddy. I wonder if Caitlin Albert is like, thank you so much, bestie, for telling everyone we're just acquaintances. This is so strange.
Her. I went to high school with her.
Yeah, I didn't grow up with her. I went to high school with her. Who says that? Never heard such malarkey in my life. I didn't grow up. I've never heard someone say to somebody, hey, did you grow up with that kid? Do you know that kid? No, I never grew up with him. I went to high school with him. What are you talking about, lady? Look at her face. She even knows. Even this dumb lady, excuse me. This dumb firefighter, EMT. I feel bad for her. I do. I don't even want to make fun of her, but we have to play this. This is what's going on in Canton. And the funny thing is she's going to suffer. I feel bad for her. She's going to suffer for this. And I think she made a big mistake, ethically, morally, all that stuff. But I do feel bad for her because I feel like people above her, higher up, put her in this position. Some people don't feel bad. I get that too. But I don't really know. I don't know why she is playing this game. And a lot of people say I have no pity for her. And I could feel you on that too. I mean, because of what this is about. You know, bring up Karen Reed's face, looking at her, staring at her. I mean, I feel like that's justified. But I feel like some people fail their hair. Starting with Adam Lally.
When I say grow up with her, I mean, you grew up in the same town as her, right?
Grew up in the same town.
Went to the same high school.
We didn't grow up together. We grew up in the same town. Jackson got her. I mean, wow. Did you hear that? Back to back, those statements. We didn't grow up together. We grew up in the same town. Yeah, I feel you on this too. I mean, I just try not to be vengeful, but I feel you on that. That's why I'm glad I'm not a cop. Or even a school teacher. When I was a school teacher, I hated doing the discipline shit and all that. And I get you kind of have to do it because I work with dogs, and I don't discipline them that way. It's like training, but you kind of have to lay down the rules with the dog. Dogs, and I think people and kids, they like structure. They like to know what the rules are. And that's what I think a good parent does. Give them some structure. I sound like such a square now. Oh my God. I used to be such a rebel. Listen to me. All right, let's play more video.
School as she did,
Yes.
socialized with the same friends as she did,
Yes.
went on day trips with her,
Yes.
and have all the same friend group. Right?
I don't know that we have all the same friend group. These are people that we're both friends with.
But you don't consider her anything more than just an acquaintance.
I think I described it to you.
The answer to my question is you don't consider her to be anything more than an acquaintance.
I wouldn't consider her to be a close friend.
Now let's take a look at the last photograph. Describe what's in that photograph.
It's a picture of me. Caitlin is in it, and there's seems to be other people in it as well.
May I approach?
Yes.
Thank you, Amy, for becoming a member.
Both of you can take it. Sorry, I just want to drop it on you. That's a close-up photograph of who?
Caitlin, and I'm also in it.
And you're doing what in the photograph as it relates to Caitlin?
It seems like I'm kind of kneeling down next to her.
Touching her?
Can I see that for just a minute, please?
I'm going to stop her right there. Mizzy, a mixed girl and a mixed up world. Mizzy, who's been on the show about Sandra Birchmore, made a comment. She said, "Why did Kevin Albert hook her up with an interview with Proctor the next day?" Gee, I wonder why. Really good point. Because she's friends with the Alberts, right? Mizzy is on it. Mizzy sent me some other intel about one of the EMTs being one of the people that showed up for Sandra Birchmore, too. Such a good comment. Thank you for that comment, Mizzy.
I'm sorry, can you show me you? Okay.
So just for the record, may I approach one more time, Your Honor?
Yes.
Thank you. Take a look at that one more time. You're sort of just behind Caitlin in that photograph?
Yes.
Caitlin's the one drinking the beer?
Yes.
You got your right arm around her?
Yes.
You both appear to be wearing swimwear,
Yes.
bathing suits,
Yes.
and you're giving some sort of sign with your left hand.
No, I'm not.
Is that somebody else's hand that I saw? Maybe that's Caitlin's.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't have the photograph in front of me. I don't have it committed to memory. Looks like that's a photograph that you and Caitlin posed for together, correct?
It seems like it's a close up of a bigger, like a picture. It seems to be zoomed in on a group of people.
Which was posted on social media.
Okay.
Is that right?
Are you telling me that?
I'm asking you that. Have you ever seen that posted on social media?
I don't recall seeing this picture, but if it was on social media, then okay.
How long ago was that picture taken?
I don't know.
Who took the picture?
I don't know.
Where were you when the photograph was taken?
Probably at a beach with, if we're wearing bathing suits.
Probably at a beach or at a beach?
Well, I can't see a beach in the picture. We're in bathing suits. It could be at a beach.
Right. Do you recognize the bathing suit that you're wearing in the photograph?
No.
You literally don't even recognize your own outfit?
No.
So that doesn't help define where you were and when that photograph was taken?
No, sir.
Do any of these photographs remind you that you've been to Caitlin's house at some point in your friendship with her?
No.
Has Caitlin ever been to your house?
Not to my recollection.
When was the last time you talked to Caitlin?
I don't remember exactly. It's probably been a few years.
When was the last time you went to?
Probably been a few years. Probably been a few years. What's that, like 2, 3? Probably. I'm not sure though.
Socializing event with Caitlin.
Again, I don't remember exactly.
Did you talk to Caitlin at any point at or around, on or around January 29th, 2022?
No.
When was the last time you had talked to Caitlin before January 29th, 2022?
I don't know.
Would it have been a day before, a week before, a month before?
No, I don't talk to her. Like I said, we're not like close friends, so it's like pretty infrequent that we would interact. So I don't know when the last time before that.
What about texting or Snapchatting or communicating in that way?
I don't remember.
Would it have been a week before the 29th?
I don't think so.
Is that Bev breathing again? Jesus Christ, Bev. So sick of that too. Another good comment from Mizzy. She says it's outrageous that Bev wouldn't allow them to see those photos. They should be allowed all the evidence. I agree, but I think it actually helps the defense. Because now the jury knows what the photos show, they know what the photos show. It's been described to them. And sometimes your imagination, it makes it even more clear. So it's probably even better for the defense that the photos didn't get shown. But it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. And the reason why is ridiculous because they didn't submit them in time. It's like, come on. With what the prosecution's been doing, with their holding on to evidence.
You don't think so, or you know so?
I don't think so.
What about after the 29th?
And that's the key. The jury knows there are photos. And the jury can look at her and see how she's reacting. I mean, it's pretty damn obvious what's going on here. These people are from Massachusetts. You think they call their friends acquaintances? I mean, how many of you use the word acquaintances? When's the last time you've used the word acquaintances? I want to hear from the chat right now. When is the last time you used the word acquaintance? Do you use that often? Is that something that you rarely use? Like, how often do you use that word versus friends? Yeah, I never use it. I never say I have acquaintances. I might say I have a close friend. We grew up together. We're great friends. We're best friends. I don't know. It just seems like a really, yeah. I mean, that might be something to use to diss someone. Maybe I could see if, because if you were kind of close to someone, but you just want to call them an acquaintance to kind of distance yourself. I mean, that's the only way I could see to use that word. Yeah, too long of a word too. That's another reason why. I mean, that's another reason why the word friends is so popular. It's a short word. It's easy to say. Acquaintance is it's a difficult word to say. Yeah, and that's a key. That's the key. And everyone on that jury, hopefully there's some townies on this jury. Like some townies from other towns. You know what I mean? Like someone from Quincy who grew up in the town who knows how this shit works. Because a lot of these towns, it's all the same. We know how this stuff works. I'm not calling them acquaintance. That's just so crazy. A known acquaintance. That might be a term. Okay. That might be, you know who uses that term? Law enforcement. A known acquaintance. I mean, that's the only time you might hear that, or like the media reporting on a story of someone, you know what I mean? A known acquaintance. All right, let's get back to it. This is what makes her not reliable. See, Turtle Boy is probably an acquaintance of mine. I mean, I don't know. I've met the dude once in person. We obviously know each other. We talk to each other. I've had him on my show. But I wouldn't call him an acquaintance because, I would probably call him someone I owe a favor to. you know? I'd probably call him someone that I respect the work of. See, that's honesty. She's not being honest.
You responded to 34 Fairview. You ever have any communication with her?
Not that I can recall.
So is that something that you think you might remember if you responded to a house of her father where there's a police officer dead or dying on the yard, on the lawn, 30 feet from the front door? You might have had a conversation with Caitlin.
I've never had a conversation with Caitlin about that call or this case.
Did you ever contact any of your other friends?
Like, how would one become acquainted with you asking for my mom? I would want to know why your mom wanted to know. Oh man. What's a Turtle Boy is daddy? See, I don't call him daddy. I'm sorry. It's just too much. I'm too much of a square for that stuff. No, not me. I'm a straight dude. The only thing crazy about me is I smoke weed. And I don't care about style or looking good or shaving. I do take showers. Everything else, I'm pretty straight. I don't call men daddy. If I'm gonna call someone daddy, they better like pin me or beat me up a couple times first, like physically. We're gonna have to, I'm too macho for that shit. Come on. I'll call my girl daddy. She's in charge over here.
About the fact that you responded to Caitlin's parents' house.
No.
Were you ever asked about this relationship that you had with Caitlin Albert, this friendship that you had with Caitlin Albert at or near the time of the 29th of January?
No.
Did you ever disclose to anybody that you had a relationship with Caitlin Albert at or around the time of this event?
No.
When you went to 34 Fairview, you knew that was the Albert family home, correct?
No.
When did you learn that it was the Albert? You now know that.
I know that now.
When did you find that?
I don't know.
See, that's weird. I don't know. You don't remember when you found out that it was somebody that you knew? I don't actually believe that she didn't know it was their home. But if she didn't, I'm pretty sure she would tell, like that answer is just not real. I don't know how or when I found out.
I don't recall. It was some point after. It was, but I don't know when.
Would it have been the next day?
No.
You and firefighter Flamati and firefighter Nuttall were all discussing this case pretty intently after this event, correct?
No.
It's not that often in the little town of Canton that a police officer is found dead or dying on another police officer's lawn. Wouldn't you agree with that?
We responded to a medical call. So
Look at talking down. We responded to a medical call. Like, this is just terrible. Damn. Wow. Feel bad for her. I know people don't feel bad for her. I get why you don't. In a way, I don't either, because what she's doing to Karen Reed is awful. That's my feeling. But I mean, this is someone that wanted to be an EMT firefighter, help people, and now she's in this bad situation. So I do have a little sympathy for her. Like, she didn't kill anybody, but I feel like she got influenced and has bias and doesn't even see it. And it's the little white lies. And once you swallow this stuff and you go down, you're it doesn't get you. You're done. You're done. It's just like if you're a police officer, all it takes is to take one bribe, one free coffee, one free drink, one $100 one time, and you're done. Once they get you once, it's over. There's no turning back. Once you agree to do somebody a favor, there's no turning back on that favor. And that's what I feel like. And whether it was like done through Caitlin Albert or just kind of done because it was Caitlin, that's what this screams of. I can't prove that. I can't say it's definitive. I'm not going to call her a liar, but all of this makes her look very deceptive.
the conversation after the fact was at the hospital, debriefing the call, going over what happened.
Yeah, and wearing a cross. I got to say that. I know a lot of you Christians get mad at me for it. I'm friggin' pretty much a Christian. Irish Catholic, grew up, went away from it. I feel like I'm more back to it. I don't believe in church and all that shit, and I don't believe in you have to display it, especially when you go to court. I think that was weird. 2 days in a row. Come on. I judge on that because I feel like those people are the ones that are hiding something, usually. If someone really wants you to know they're a Christian, it's not so much about what they say. It's, oh, I want to convert people and proselytize. No, usually it's them wanting you to know that they're good Christians. And a lot of those people that want you to know that they're good Christians like that are usually up to some no good shit. Fake Christians, exactly. It's like they're trying to prove something. That's what it is. Virtue signaling. Exactly. It's so much what the left gets called out for. It's virtue signaling. It's exactly what it is. It's also a protection thing. What do you think? It wards off vampires or some shit? Come on. Maybe. I like what Bill Hicks said about it, though. You think if Jesus actually came back, do you think he'd want to see the cross? It's like walking around with if Tupac came back, you like it'd be like where all the Tupac fans are wearing the gun that he shot him.
And what we use for equipment, what we need, and just like that was the the extent of the conversation.
Perfect answer to the yeah. You ever notice that the mafia always wore crosses to court? There's so many of my friends too growing up or in college and shit. Like they do all the sinning during the week and then they go and confess on, at church service, go to do their penance, and they're good to sin for the next week. Yeah, a lot of the mafia were always wearing the crosses. That's the other thing. It's like you see so many of the gangsters that wear crosses. It's like, what is that about? I'm not always bad. Sometimes I'm with God.
This case, given its notoriety, is discussed at the fire station almost daily.
I don't know when I'm not there, but it does get brought up.
And obviously the fact that the house belongs to, or belonged at the time, to the Albert family is part of that discussion.
You know a lot of shady people, Mike. Oh, maybe. I mean, I've been in the music scene for a long time. Of course, I know in cannabis. How many shady people in the cannabis scene? I know a lot of good people though too. Most people are good. And even the ones who are the sinners when they're in the week, they're I mean, what kind of sin are we talking about? Cheating, maybe being a college kid, cheating on your girlfriend, or gambling too much, or going to the strip joints. I don't know. Are those when you're 20 years old, how shady is that? It's not really that shady, but it's just funny that you go to confession on whenever Friday, and then you're like forgiven, and then you do it all over again. That's the funny part to me. It's not so much that they're being shady. They're just kind of like fooling themselves. It's just kind of funny. Like my vice is smoking. I smoke the cigarettes. I'm trying to quit. And going to confession on Friday and confessing for my smoking isn't going to help me. Like if I continue smoking, you know what I mean? So we all got our thing. All right, I'm confessing to you guys too much stuff.
I don't know. Like I said, it gets brought up, but I just avoid it. I don't engage in the conversations.
It was certainly enough of a subject matter.
I'm not doing any Catholic bashing. It's not even Catholic bashing. I'm Catholic. All right? My family is all Catholic. I love my family. I'm not going after Catholics. I'm just saying there's a certain type of Christian that has to wear the cross when they're being cross-examined, and every eye in the world is looking at them 2 days in a row. It's weird. It is weird. I'm sorry. I know you might not think that. Maybe you wear the cross every day and you display it. But for a lot of us, it comes off as weird. And like I love what Lauren said. I'm Catholic and there are no perfect Catholics. Exactly. I feel like I can talk about Catholics because I am Catholic. You know what I mean? I may not go to the church all the time and stuff, but I grew up around it. All right. No more Catholic talking.
You learned, according to you, after the 29th, that house belonged to Brian Albert, Nicole Albert, parents of your friend Caitlin Albert, right?
Well, at that point,
See, I'm trying to stop talking about Margaret, but you keep bringing it back up. She said you're certainly like mocking aspects of the faith. I'm just saying for people that, in my opinion, if you really want to get into it, but I don't. Let's get back to the witness. You can be forgiven for all your sins and then do all the same sins the next week. Seems kind of strange to me. And I'm not saying that's even the Catholic doctrine, but that's how a lot of people live. That's all I was saying. All right. I think the Catholic doctrine is probably you can confess your sins, you do your penance, and you don't do them again. I think that's actually the doctrine. But a lot of people don't act that way, and we know it. That's all I'm saying. All right. I'm talking about a specific group of people who go to churches, and we all know them. And that doesn't mean I'm criticizing all. I know many people who go to church who are the best people, the nicest people, and they don't need a virtue signal. They don't need a virtue. Like, they're the type of people that you around them and find out about them. You want to go to church because of who they are, not because they're wearing the stupid cross. You know what I'm saying? So there's all kinds in the church. That's all. Let's just drop it at that. All right, let's go.
It was on the news consistently, so I don't know where that like information was introduced, but
But it was pretty early on after the 29th.
I don't recall when it was known that that was the case.
I mean,
No, boy. See, now that we're going to the Catholic stuff, people don't want to let it go. Bobby Yan just did a super chat. He said that's how the priests get away with all their touching over the years. Rinse and repeat, sin and confess. Oh, man. And I mean, that's why I don't like organized religion, honestly. I don't like organized anything. I mean, I've worked with organizations. I was a part of an organization for a long time. Organized stuff it becomes groupthink all the time, no matter if it's a corporation, business, whatever it is. That's why I've limited my life. That's why I'm like, I run basically a couple people show business. You know what I mean? We're not trying to scale it up and get big and deal with organizational bullshit. The same thing with this. I love that the organization is small. So I think that's the biggest problem with religion, is that it's organized. I think we all need more spiritual stuff. Or we should read more books. We should read the Bible. But I think when you put an organization there, that's when it gets dicey. Dealing with government and corporations is hard enough. Then you have religions. It's just,
you didn't learn that.
be careful. That's all I say. With organizations, my advice to people is be careful. It's easy to get into groupthink.
Albert family home last week.
No,
You've known it for going on 2.5 years.
I don't know exactly when I learned that that was the house.
I realize you don't know exactly,
She doesn't remember exactly when. This is funny too.
Ms. McLaughlin. I'm not asking you the day you learned. I'm asking you, you've known this basically through the lifespan of this case.
At some point after I learned it.
Right. I'm just trying to figure out about how long after. A week after? A month after?
I'm not sure.
But it was more toward January 29th than it was yesterday, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, just a moment, Your Honor.
Yes.
One other, just a couple brief questions. Do you know any of Caitlin's siblings?
Look at that stare. Karen Reed is
Brian Albert
pissed.
No,
Do you know of any of her extended family that might be a little closer in age to you, like Colin Albert?
no.
Have you ever met any of them?
This thing about Karen Reed, she is not afraid. And this is a person that does not look guilty. Like, she's either really a good actress or she's not guilty. And that does not look like someone that's like, right? Laser focus. Yeah, she wants her justice. And think about what they did to her. And I get why people are mad at Katie, because of this right here. This person is suffering. This is why I'm going live every night now. This is like go time. Yeah, staring into her soul. She's very confident. It really reminds me of that Trial 4 show. People have seen that Netflix series, Trial 4. Amazing. Haven't seen that? Look that up. Trial 4. Sean Ellis. He's a Boston native. I got to talk to him and get him on the show. Amazing. If you guys can do me a favor, if you're friends with Sean Ellis on Facebook, tell him he's got to come on the Young Jerks. There's a moment in that Netflix series where they offer him, after 3 trials, he's going on the 4th trial for murder of a police officer that he didn't do. And they said, we'll let you go. You'll never have to do prison again if you just agree to plead guilty. And he said, no. No effing way. I'm innocent. That's the way Karen looks. Got the same look.
That I recall.
Not that you recall or no?
I don't remember meeting any of them.
Your Honor, that's all I have right now.
All right, Mr. Lally, any questions?
Sure. Just a few, Your Honor.
Yeah, Karen is badass.
So, Ms. McLaughlin, you're
She really is.
Correct?
I'm sorry.
You're not friends with Caitlin Albert, is that correct?
And that's
I would say
that's
she-
what we all have to realize, and how scary it is. Karen could be the homeless guy getting framed. It could be any of us. Bigger picture of the case. And not only could it be, it is. This happens all the time, actually. So what happened to Sean Ellis? He didn't have the money. He got lucky. He had a good public defender early on. And then he found a phenomenal attorney, Rosemary. But he had to do 20-something years. So this happens a lot more than people realize. Jails are full of innocent people. And I'm not saying like everybody in jail is innocent, because obviously not. There are a lot of, recidivist, violent criminals. I think violent criminals and the worst offenders should receive the real time. But at the same time, there's so much wrong about the system. And they get it wrong a lot. And a lot of it's based on race and money, and socioeconomic, education level, who you are. If you're an easy target, especially when cops want to frame you up. That's what Sean Ellis was. He was an easy target, a patsy, person there at the wrong time, of convenience, basically.
She's an acquaintance, not a close friend.
There it goes again. She keeps saying it. Acquaintance, not a close friend. That's rehearsed. That is rehearsed. That was Lally's preparation. He's like, thank you for saying that again. Thank you for saying that line we talked about last night.
Now, you were shown some photographs of you in a fairly large group with Caitlin Albert, correct?
Yes.
You don't know when those were, correct?
Yeah, Sean Ellis is I think it was last night, actually. But just he's speaking at the mass bar dinner. That's how big the Bar Association for Lawyers. Sean Ellis is like one of the headline speaker. I think he might be the headline speaker for it. Like, he's doing major stuff now, which is awesome. But there are so many other folks like him that you've never heard of. And there was another guy, his so-called accomplice, Sean Ellis's so-called accomplice. He pled guilty because they offered him a deal. And he didn't do it. So people a lot of times will plead guilty to crimes that they didn't do, just because they know they're screwed. When the system is against you and you have no assets or money or power, a lot of times people are just going to do the easy thing, what they want you to do. Take the sweet deal. So that happens a lot too. It's harder to challenge that later too, because you pled guilty. That's the difference on Sean Ellis. He didn't plead guilty. He just kept fighting it. That's why he got exonerated. If he had pled guilty, I bet none of that would have happened. Neither one of them would have got any justice. And I don't blame someone for pleading guilty to a crime they didn't do. Because look at the risk. The risk is life in prison.
I don't know exactly.
You don't know where you were when those were taken, correct?
No, not exactly. They seem old.
And just to back up, you knew her in high school, but you weren't friends in high school, right?
I would categorize our relationship as always being just acquaintances. I knew her.
Yeah, they did all kinds of shit to his family, to his fiance. They basically had his girlfriend testify against him. They had all these people like that. His uncle, I think it was either his uncle or his cousin. They made people lie about him that actually liked Sean. Like when the state's coming down on you, people who like you will lie on you. That's basically what happened to him. People that did not dislike him at all, the state made them lie about him, threatened him. That happens a lot.
Some mutual friends, but we were never close friends. We don't have a one-on-one relationship.
And as far as high school versus post-high school, would you see her more so during high school, the high school years, or after you graduated?
Well, probably more in high school. Just
I mean, what kind of question is that? That should have been. I don't know why. That is the most ridiculous question I've ever heard. Like if you went to high school with somebody, you're going to see them more in high school than after high school. I mean, that's 99.99% of the people you know in your life, even your best friends. Like people that I would have considered my best friend at 30 that I went to high school with. I had people like that in my life. I definitely saw them less after high school. I mean, right? It's just a stupid question. Doesn't mean anything.
because you're there every day. But
She even said it. She even knows how dumb it is because you're there every day.
then afterwards, yeah, it was only here and there. Like I said, like mutual friends. So maybe events for mutual friends, I might run into her.
I might run into her here and there. That sounds like a friend, though.
And to be clear, and I think you made reference to it, but that last photograph that's marked.
And a teammate. I keep going back to this teammate thing because, you know, I was on a lot of 3 high school sports. I played soccer, I wrestled, and I did track. Now, there's a lot of different events, especially an outdoor track. So you might not know everybody, but most people, even in track, I would consider them teammates, and especially on cross country, I think, because cross country, I wasn't a cross country guy, but I know friends of mine who were, and they used to practice around us, you know, run around the soccer fields. And I always found cross country was, I don't know, maybe it's changed, but back in the day, there were less of them. So they were always a tighter bunch. And when you're running together, you kind of stick together, especially when you're practicing. Even when wrestling, you know, we used to go for runs sometimes and you kind of stick together. So I really think that's weird that she was a teammate and she acts like an acquaintance. I would never call someone who was a teammate of mine an acquaintance. It's just so strange to me.
Okay, that seems to be a props.
And especially if you hung out with them after high school. You still went to parties with them. Seems like more than an acquaintance.
Sort of zoomed in of a larger photo, is that right?
Yeah. Yes.
Now, as far as each of those photos you were shown, you're present in a photo with Caitlin Albert in a much larger group, correct?
Yes.
Have you ever hung out or socialized with Caitlin Albert outside of the setting of a large group?
No.
You've never been to her house before that date of January 29th that you know, correct?
Correct.
She's never been to your house that you know of, correct?
Correct.
Now, as far as that first one, that's as far as social media is concerned, as far as a friends list, and without sort of doing it, I'm sort of putting that in air quotes. How many friends would you say you have on social media in total?
I don't know. maybe over 500. I don't know.
And of those 500 people, how many of those 500 people would you consider actual friends?
Much less than that. Less than 10.
All right, why don't we wrap this up, Mr. Lee?
Like, even see, Babs even had enough. Let's wrap it up. Finally, she said it to them. Like, this is going nowhere, dude. It's ridiculous. I'm just reading your chat comments right now.
Just when it comes to that day that you responded, you're working with the fire department, you responded to a call on January 29th to a home, or as you say, to somewhere on the side of the road. Did you have any idea whose house that was adjacent to where the treatment was concerned with regard to your patient?
No.
I know.
Okay.
I got nothing. Lally's done. All right. I want to thank everyone for supporting tonight. I've been trying to read all the super chats, but we've had an issue with the StreamYard. When they pop up on the feed, I try to bring them right up immediately. So if I missed any of you, I'm very sorry. I think we broke the StreamYard. I'm just going to check the Venmo real quick in the Cash Apps. But I want to thank everyone for listening tonight. Tomorrow night, 7 p.m. special show. Rita Lombardi coming back on the show. We're going to talk about being at court for this trial and her impressions of the jurors, how the jurors are taking the testimony. We're seeing Grant Smith Ellis post some crazy stuff that you really can't trust him at all. So we're going to hear from Rita. What does she think about the jurors and how they're taking the testimony from her days in court? And we're also going to talk to Rita about what's going on in Canton with the police, the Canton Police Department audit, which is happening. They had a big meeting the other night. It got really crazy. And then it seemed like the Free Karen Reed side or the Lombardis and the Howes, they kind of worked it out with the kind of rude man who was running the event with some cops, which was a really such crazy, sticky situation in Canton. So we're going to check that out tomorrow night. Rita Lombardi here at 7 p.m. And I'm sorry I'm swallowing on the mic, but I needed some water right there. Oh, looks like we had a donation on the Cash App. I don't know if I already thanked her for this. Caroline gave $10 on the Cash App. Thank you so much, Caroline. And I'm just going to check Venmo. I didn't hear any Venmos. I don't think we got. Oh, no, we did. No Venmos tonight, which is fine. You guys have been very generous the last couple nights. I really appreciate everything you're doing. Watching, viewing, commenting, sharing, and make sure you like. And that's the other thing. I want to thank you all. We had over 1,000 likes on our last two, lives, which is really unheard of here. So it's really exciting to see that. And also, I told you last night we would hit 9,000 by the end of the weekend. We're going for 10,000 subs on YouTube. I'm pretty sure let's check right now. I think that's probably just happening. It was like happening this afternoon. It looked like you guys are, oh my God, we're over 9,000 subs. So all we need is another 1,000 this week. Let's get to 10,000 on the Young Jerks. It's amazing. I never thought that would happen. 9,000 subs on the Young Jerks YouTube. Thank you so much. Hit the like button. If you haven't, please subscribe. Help us get to that 10,000. And if you know someone that is into this stuff, the coverage, the local coverage, the Karen Reed stuff, let us know. Let them know, excuse me. Have them subscribe. And on Tuesday, I believe we're going to have two lawyers on the show, two new lawyers to talk from Massachusetts to talk about some other police corruption stuff going on and a lawsuit they filed. And they seem to have won to get some information from another corrupt DEA, not Morrissey. And I think they're going to be commenting as well about Karen Reed. So we got some big shows coming up. I'm going to try, like I said, every night I'm going to try to either go solo or have some great guests like we've been having. And I know that attorney Mark Betterow is going to be back on Mazza Media. And like I said, we're going to try to reach out to Jessica Machado this week as well, and maybe Sean on the Gulf if he'll come on. He's got his own show too, so he's busy. But we're just pumping it out, and I just want to keep it going and free Karen Reed because I believe she's innocent, and all the evidence shows that. And if you have any suggestions on guests, we're taking them. Let us know. Let them know too. Let us know how to book them, who they are. All right, I'm gonna go tonight. It's late. I gotta get up. I gotta get up at like 6 or 7 in the morning for this dog. I gotta go. Crazy. I got a lot going on. Busy day tomorrow. I worked all weekend. It's funny how this lady called me. This lady, I guess I'll call her a lady, called me homeless the other night on this other live stream that didn't have that many views. It's funny. It did actually have a lot of views for that show because they haven't done a show in a while, but it wasn't that many views considering who it was, and it was her first live interview about all the bullshit. And it was like 90% people that don't like her. So she called me homeless the other day. And it's like, really? Is that why I work 7 days a week? Because I'm homeless? It's crazy. People are. Do I need to shave? Is that the problem? Is that like I need a haircut? So Whack Job doesn't think I'm homeless? Yeah. It's funny too, because I don't want to brag, but I'm in a good place. Like, I don't think most people get to live where I'm living right now. Let's put it that way. I never thought I would. I feel so good, like where I'm at. So it's kind of funny, like for them to come at me about stuff like that. It's just like, you really think that's going to damage me? I got pissed for a second. I did. I called out the show because I'm like, I don't like when they lie. Like there's a lot of shit you could call me, but I'm not homeless. Clearly not homeless. And I'm also, I don't like the stigma of home. Like you're doing a show and you're attacking people and you look like trash, honestly. And you're crying about that people are stigmatizing your past addiction, but now you're stigmatizing homeless people. Like, I'm glad I've never been homeless, but I could have been, And I think it's awful that, this is your insult about me when I'm not homeless and you're using that. Just nasty. So there's that. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I got 2 businesses going here basically, and not bad. I feel like I'm living the dream. I tried self-employment like a decade plus. It destroyed me. And the second time it worked. You know what I mean? So it's amazing. I feel like I'm living the American dream. Not saying I'm going to ever be like a, multi-millionaire like, Warren Buffett or whatever, but I don't want to be. I'm happy with what I do. That's the big thing. I love what I do. Every day I get up, I'm happy as F, and I can afford everything I need. You know what I mean? What's a soup kitchen? I'm more like, how much am I going to spend at Market Basket this week? I love food. Last night, Kowloon, oh my God. We just finished the leftovers. Yeah, exactly. The audacity to call you homeless while you stream from inside your home. Exactly. It's so stupid. Why pick on the homeless too, though? Like, really? That's what you do in life. You pick on the homeless. All right, I'm out of here. I can't wait to see you all tomorrow night with Rita Lombardi. I can't wait for Rita. We haven't had her on the show since the election, so this is going to be exciting to have her back on the show. Did I get in a fight? No, I did not get in a fight at the Kowloon. I ate I ate and ate and ate. I ate a lot of. It's funny because I went with family. Some of them like to drink. They build up the bill with the drinks. I build up the bill with the food. I just order everything. I was like they were like, "Oh my God, dude. Yeah, let's order that. Let's order that. Let's order that." I ordered the most expensive plate. That was the seafood thing. Oh my God. Thing was amazing. I got the whole poopa platter with the teriyaki. I went all out last night at Kowloon. All right, I gotta go. I gotta get up early, take out some dogs, and I gotta go spend like $300 food shopping for like 2 people tomorrow. Not that much, but you know what I mean. I do. I overbuy. I am an exceptional host. I would not say I'm an exceptional host. You must be some kind of like very close acquaintance of mine to say something like that, Island Girl. I appreciate it though. Thank you for saying that. Building up my confidence as a host, Island Girl. Yeah, the name Poo Poo Platter. Steak teriyaki. I had to get the crab rangoon too. The only thing I didn't like about the Poo Poo Platter is they didn't have those little small spare ribs. They had the ones with the bone. I don't like the bone ones as much. I like I don't know. I forget what they call them. The ones that are more like the strip. But the Kowloon is good. Good food. There were cops out front, so there were no fights this time. And I went out to dinner with some family and some close acquaintances. No, I don't have any acquaintances. You could say the guy that you buy your weed off is an acquaintance. I think that might be what an acquaintance is. If you sell me weed, you're my acquaintance. Yeah, I do outros like every goodbye I've ever had. That's my problem, right? I can't stop talking at the end. I want to thank you all. Thank you so much for listening tonight. And you know what I'm going to do is before we leave, I'm going to ask you real quick for people who's still here. Who's still here? Oh, you still got 560. Thank you. I want to know which video you want to see again. Do you want to see Coffin Daffer doing her like 15-second dance and acting like a jackass at 34 Fairview, or do you want to see the video that's like 3 minutes long of this lady who doesn't remember? I think the doesn't remember one. I want to watch that again, but it's up to you guys. I want to know which one you want to watch on the way out here. Well, maybe I should play them both. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play them both just for fun. Coffin Daffer. If you ever seen this is Coffin Daffer. Walking up to 34 Fairview, getting caught, and then running away like a little child. It's hilarious. You know what? I may play this a few times. This is just too much. This lady who sits there and talks down to all of us, says we're a mob. She's trespassing. Scare the shit out of the people that live here. People that live here are not happy with this lady. That's who is supposed to be the serious person on the hate Karen Reed train. Awful. Look at this clown. Look at her run. And her cape. She got like a cape, like a witch. Like, she's got the worst run, too. Like, seriously, honey. Oh, man. She is insane.
Go!
That I recall.
Good night, everyone.
1, 2,
I don't recall ever being there.
2 seconds, 3, 4, 5. What are you doing?
I don't recall ever being there. Yeah, I don't know exactly. I have no recollection of ever being at her house.
6, 7. Why aren't you trying to go get something?
I don't know.
More than 8 years?
I don't know.
9, 10. What is he doing? 12. You'll never get it.
I have no idea. I don't know.
What was the event?
I don't know.
What beach? I'm not as familiar with the location.
I'm not sure.
anything this way.
14, 15, 16.
I'm sorry.
Did I go to the beach at some point with these people? Yes.
Okay, all those folks.
I don't know.
17,
I'm
18.
sorry, sir.
When did you go to the beach with all those folks?
I don't know. I don't know when this picture is from.
Have you?
It's-
I think you're not going to
20
win.
seconds.
I don't know. It could be around high school. I'm not. They both look old to me. I don't know when they're from.
A few moments later.
I don't remember specifically what or where this is. I don't know. I don't know where this is.
Later.
I don't know where this is exactly.
So you've had.
No, I'm saying I can't. These photos are old. I don't know. I don't remember where these were or the circumstances around them. That's what I'm saying.
You see how you're dressed?
I don't know.
Where?
2,000 years later.
Sorry. I don't know. I don't remember.
How many friend group? Right?
I don't know that we have all.
Which was posted on social media.
Okay.
Is that right?
Are you telling me that?
I'm asking you that. Have you ever seen that posted on social media?
I don't recall seeing this picture.
In the photograph?
No.
You literally don't even recognize your own outfit?
No.
So that doesn't help define where you were and when that photograph was taken?
No, sir. No.
Has Caitlin ever been to your house?
Not to my recollection.
When was the last time you talked to Caitlin?
I don't remember exactly. Again, I don't remember exactly. I don't know. So I don't know when the last time before that. Don't.
Communication with her?
Not that I can recall. I don't know. I don't recall when it was.
I'm just trying to figure out about how long after? A week after? A month after?
I'm not sure.
Or was that on a trip somewhere?
I don't know. Well,